Welcome to another week of Weird But Truth, a truth that we can avoid, as we can avoid laughing, but who does burp as they laugh? Am I right? Without any more innuendo, here are the most relevant news from the past week. Brother and sister. Number 1. British Airways flight attendant arrested after dancing naked on flight. Juno 1, British Airways flight. During the dinner service after takeoff, one of the flight attendants reportedly went missing on board. So the crew searched the jet and found him naked and dancing in one of the Club World business class lavatories. The crew suspected that he was on drugs, so he was relieved of his duties for the rest of the flight. He was told to put on some first-class pajamas and was placed in an empty first-class seat for the rest of the 10-plus-hour journey. The crew alerted the company of what had happened, and the police were called to meet the flight. The flight attendant was then reportedly removed from the airport in a wheelchair. He received medical attention and was then arrested. He has been suspended of his duties pending an investigation. British Airways has refused to comment beyond that, stating that it's a police matter. Number 2. Police find naked man in Lowe's display shed with Vaseline and phone. May 13, 2025, Slidell, Louisiana. Slidell police, responding to a call at a Lowe's parking lot on Sunday evening, reportedly found a naked man inside a display shed engaged in lewd behavior. According to police, the call came in around 5 p.m. on May 11, 2025. A witness reported a naked male inside one of the store's outdoor tool sheds, which are typically used to show customers various storage options for purchase. Officers arrived at the scene and began searching the line of sheds on display. It wasn't until the 4th or 5th shed that they located the suspect, lying on his back, pants around his ankles, using an open container of Vaseline and an electronic device while allegedly masturbating. With taser drawn, police say the officer ordered the man to pull up his pants and roll onto his stomach to be handcuffed. Police say the man complied without resistance. The man reportedly admitted to his actions, telling officers he was watching YouTube at the time. He was arrested on 1 count of obscenity and booked into jail. Number 3. Delta flight erupts into chaos as pigeons fly around main cabin. May 28, 2025, Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. A Delta flight erupted into chaos Saturday when 2 pigeons were discovered in the plane's main cabin, video of the pandemonium shows. A passenger spotted the first pigeon before the plane departed from Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, according to an Instagram post from Tom Kaw, who was also on the flight. Kaw said the pilot announced the pigeon sighting and had the bird removed before takeoff. As the flight taxied out to take off, a second pigeon emerged and flew down the main aisle of the cabin. Video Kaw posted on Instagram and NBC News obtained shows. The bird prompted several passengers to scream. Pilot said when he radioed the control tower about us coming back due to a pigeon, the guy said that was a first for him, Kaw wrote. Pilot told him it was the second time for him, the first being half an hour earlier. Number 4. Duck terrorizes Florida neighborhood, sending 1 to hospital. May 26th, Florida, Cape Coral. Neighbors say an uninvited guest is causing chaos on their street in Cape Coral. A Muscovy duck has not been a friendly visitor, with neighbors saying it has chased and bitten people, even sending 1 person to the hospital. I had my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I felt a jab on my hand and it was bleeding, neighbor James Sepulveda said. Wildlife officials say the duck is protected by federal law and can be removed, but only by humane methods. Neighbors say they are trying to keep their distance from the unfriendly duck. Number 5. Electricity from dessert? U.S. ice cream giant Ben & Jerry's powers homes with its waste. May 30, St. Albans, Vermont, USA. A high-tech anaerobic digestion facility in the U.S. has been transforming organic waste from the iconic ice cream brand Ben & Jerry's into renewable energy, helping power the state's electric grid and reduce the region's environmental footprint. The popular ice cream, frozen yogurt, and sorbet producer has been sending all of its high-strength organic waste and out-of-spec products directly to the plant located in St. Albans, Vermont, U.S. through a dedicated pipeline. Now, rather than being sent to landfills or wastewater treatment facilities, The waste is piped directly from Ben & Jerry's factory to the nearby digester, where it undergoes a series of processes to break down the organic material in the absence of oxygen. This digestion results in the production of methane-rich biogas, which is then captured and used to generate both electricity and heat, turning waste into a valuable energy source. Number 6. Penguin poop helps form clouds that could slow Antarctic warming. Antarctica. When we think of Antarctica, we picture vast white deserts, towering glaciers, and resilient creatures like penguins surviving in the cold. But beyond the majestic icebergs and snow-covered expanses lies a much more complex picture. Climate change is warming the region faster than most other parts of the planet. Sea ice is retreating, weather patterns are shifting, and species like the Adelie penguin are under severe threat. At first glance, penguins seem like helpless bystanders in this planetary crisis. But what if they were doing more than surviving? What if their biology and behavior, specifically their droppings, had the power to affect clouds, air chemistry, and even climate? New research suggests exactly that. Penguin guano, often seen as just a smelly byproduct of seabird life, may play a much larger role in Antarctica's climate than anyone expected. The team measured ammonia concentrations at a coastal site near Marambio Base during the austral summer of 2023. They found that penguin colonies, particularly one containing around 60,000 Adelie penguins, acted as massive sources of gaseous ammonia. Ammonia in the atmosphere is a key ingredient in forming aerosols. These particles are essential for creating cloud condensation nuclei (CCN), which allow water vapor to condense and form clouds. More clouds can reflect sunlight and reduce surface temperatures, making this process highly relevant for sea ice retention and climate regulation in the polar environment. Number 7. Japan introduces law to curb flashy and eccentric baby names like Pikachu. May 27, Japan. The era of Japanese children being named Pikachu, Pudding, or even Prince may be drawing to a close as new regulations designed to curb eccentric naming practices take effect this week. The Japanese government has implemented rules that will make it more difficult for parents to register Kira, or flashy baby names, an increasingly common phenomenon that has sparked both fascination and concern. For years, Japan has allowed a high degree of freedom in naming children, largely due to the nature of the Japanese writing system. Names are typically written in kanji, characters that often have multiple possible readings. Parents could choose unconventional, even bizarre pronunciations for these characters, a practice that led children being named everything from Caesar to Pikachu, even when the kanji suggested otherwise. One notorious example is the name Shiza, that would sound like Caesar, formed from kanji meaning emperor, and Aaron, a stylized rendering of the English name Ellen using characters for eternal love. Other examples include Raburi, which would be Lovell, Purin sounding like pudding, and the now banned Pikachu. Under the new rules, parents must specify the pronunciation of the child's name when registering it. Then, government officials will now review proposed names and block those deemed to have extreme readings or those considered contrary to a child's best interests. Number 8. Haribo announces major recall of gummies due to potential cannabis contamination. May 30th, Amsterdam. A popular confectionery company has pulled bags of gummies due to a potential cannabis contamination. According to the New York Post, Haribo has pulled its Happy Cola Fizz gummies from the shelves after multiple members of a Dutch family reported a dizziness after consuming the soda bottle-shaped snacks. After learning that the gummies had been potentially tainted with cannabis, Haribo issued a nationwide recall across the European country, the publication reported. Haribo confirmed that it is working alongside authorities to investigate the contamination, adding that it appears only a single batch in the Netherlands was tainted, and none in any other country, per the Post. As a precaution, Haribo made the decision to pull all bags with a best before date of January 2026 in the Netherlands. Number 9. Man accused of breaking into home, licking woman's toes while she slept. May 31st, California, UC. A Modesto man is accused of breaking into a Ceres woman's house and then biting and licking her toes while she slept, authorities said Friday. The Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office said this happened shortly after midnight on May 21st. Christian Alejandro Solorio Anguiano allegedly began stalking the woman at her job in February. Though other employees at the business confronted Anguiano on multiple occasions, investigators said his behavior escalated to the point that he would follow the woman home after her shifts and sleep in his car outside the residence. Witnesses reported that Anguiano tried checking doors to the home in the week leading up to the incident in an attempt to gain entry. Anguiano was positively identified as the suspect through witness statements and surveillance footage. On the night of the incident, after Anguiano allegedly put the woman's toes in his mouth, he is accused of trying to get into bed with her. The victim was able to push Anguiano off her and retrieve her phone to call 911. Anguiano fled the scene but was located near the woman's home the next day and taken into custody. And with this, the weekly report has concluded. But don't be so happy, because I will be bringing more sad and boring facts, just like all the other serious paper news deliver. Until then, learner boy, learner.